there's no point in getting with them under this kind of centric system because it's just too goddamn dangerous.
Nobody knows the exact date they stopped whispering, but by that time it didn't matter anymore. But we did get a copy of an audio tape from before the paralysis. We don't understand all of it, but we know it is important. Pass it around the miners and the workers, see what they can make of it. What we do know is some of the masculiners began to revolt, to step away. Oh God, how did they have the strength? But they did form a sort of underground club to try to preserve what was before them. Oh, how they must have suffered. But they give us strength today. We know that before the civilization paralysis, they started rounding up men, all in plain sight, placing some in bondage, putting others out on the streets, shooting others, and the drugging. The drugging was endemic. They said there was a misfiring in some men's brains and it made it hard for them to act socially. So they had to be drugged. So many other men volunteered to be drugged just to fit in. But the men, like the one who made this audio tape, refused, pretended to fit in and went underground. Ghosting, they called it. What in God's name was done? Here is the tape, or what we have left of it.
We are all men going our own way. Mgtow is leaderless resistance. And if we're going to fight any quote-unquote war, it's going to be asymmetrical, low-intensity warfare. We're supposed to be our own leaders. We're supposed to be on the path of self-actualization. We're not fighting a war. We're not the men's rights movement. We're not men's rights activists. We're resistance. We're passive resistance. And we walk away from a corrupt and rigged system that provides little reward for us. We're not fighting feminists head on. We're going our own way. We're walking away. We're going on strike, essentially. We're taking a page out of Henry David Thoreau's book, and we're using that and we're employing it to the max. We need to be calm. We need to be rational. We need to pause when agitated. Like I said, this is not about warfare or being part of the fucking army. I got some bad news for some of y'all. The feminazis, they won. They won back in 1920 when women got the right to vote. So the war is already over. And it's taken 98 years for us to get to this point where men are just starting to find their fucking balls again, to find their sense of worth, to find their sense of power. And that's how it usually rolls out. It doesn't happen overnight. Showing your face or not showing your face, that's a personal decision. You know, I'm not going to berate the guys that show their face on camera. I'm also not going to berate the guys that quote-unquote hide behind an avatar. Because in this kind of centric day and age, if your employer or people you know find out that you're a Mgtow, they're going to lose their fucking shit. And we're in such a fucked up gynocentric system that some feminist cunt get your face, manages to dox you, you're fucking over. So first off, Mgtow is men going their own way. So the basic tenets of Mgtow are: don't get married, don't get into a long-term relationship with a woman, don't cohabitate, don't get a woman pregnant. Now, general overall Mgtow, you can still have sex casually, and do quote-unquote pump and dumps or short-term relationships. But personally, I wouldn't recommend that, and I'll get into that in a bit as well. Now, you got some Mgtow that are ghosts, some that are Mgtow hermits, some that are Mgtow monks. And Mgtow monks don't have sex with women. We limit our engagement with women. We don't get into long-term or short-term relationships with women. And that's just a facet of Mgtow. It doesn't mean that because you're a monk or a hermit or a ghost or whatever that you get an extra stripe on your sleeve. It's just a category of Mgtow. There are many ways to go your own way, but being a monk is the best way. Men going your own way thing. We don't join any cults of personality. We don't, rally around any leader or any guru or whatever. Though there are Mgtow content creators on YouTube that post to forums regularly, that write articles that we like and respect. There's nothing wrong with that. But to blindly worship anybody, follow anybody without any criticism or critique when you think they're wrong is not the way to go either. That's totally contradictory, in my humble opinion, towards the Mgtow path. We live for ourselves. We engage in self-actualization. And I know it's hard for a lot of men because, in full disclosure, a while back I was like wanting a family. I was thinking maybe I could find that in a Walt unicorn that farts rainbows and shits out vanilla ice cream, but they don't exist. And even if they did exist, there's no point in getting with them under this gynocentric system because it's just too goddamn dangerous. So I do it too. I'm not acting like I'm above everybody. I'm telling you, I have to practice these principles and this shit every day myself. Please don't associate a good or service with shit like Mgtow or the red pill. We need to place principles above personalities. And we need to keep this Mgtow thing clean. It's my opinion that only straight, heterosexual males can be Mgtow. I'm not dogging out gays or trannies or women or anything like that. If gays, trannies, or whatever, even women, they could be allies of Mgtow if they really believe in supporting us and understanding where we're coming from. I'm fine with that, but they can't be Mgtow because they're, like especially with gay men and to some extent with trannies, they don't have the same relationship dynamic that a heterosexual man and a heterosexual woman have. Plus, they're not getting fucking hammered by this gynocentric system like straight men are. If you're a straight heterosexual man and you meet the basic tenets of Mgtow, you're welcome into Mgtow. I don't care what race, color, creed, or religion you are. If you want to go your own way, you're more than welcome. There's no point in getting with them under this gynocentric system because it's just too goddamn dangerous.